D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Titans, season 3, episode 4, and I have to say it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as season 3 in that big explosion of an ending, but it was pretty good. I have to say the people on this show are so hot, it's ridiculous. It's like they found the most attractive people possible to put on this show, which I personally appreciate. But sometimes I just go, man, maybe you should just throw an ugly person in there just to throw things off a little bit. But I swear, if even the bad guys, I feel like they find just the most attractive people possible. Anyways, so this episode was pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't the best episode out of all of them. But it was pretty good, and I can't wait to see where they go from here, especially with the ending. I'm interested to see what happens. But yeah. And I think this show is definitely, there's one part which I'll talk about as we go along. Well, no, I'll just mention it now. I wish that they would have Starfire and her storyline be the front and center. I feel like season 1 and season 2, we got Robin, Dick Grayson. I feel like with that, we got a lot of his storyline, and we did get some Starfire, but I just feel like with Starfire's sister coming to Earth this season, Blackfire, I really feel like they should focus on that. That should be storyline A. And I just feel like they're not doing that, and I feel like we're going to get shafted again. And I understand it's probably because of special effects. All the people with superpowers in this show, they've been, I feel like, put on the back burner because they can't afford the special effects as much as they would like to, which is a bummer. So why don't we go ahead and get started on this breakdown and everything, and I'll talk about more of it when we get to it. But yeah, so it starts off at Arkham Asylum, and Dr. Crane, Scarecrow, he gets some pills and everything, takes his pills, and then he gets attacked by this orderly or janitor or whatever it is, and he's fighting with him, and he's beating the crap out of him. And he's like, this is a, Red, you can't hide from Red Hood. Red Hood's gonna get you. This is a message from Red Hood, yada yada yada, kind of thing. So he's being targeted by Red Hood. And so then we go back to the mansion, and Superboy's cleaning up after the explosion, and Hawk died and everything. And Beast Boy's all like, hey, you need to take a break and everything. You've been cleaning, and he's all like, it's my fault. I should have been able to save him. And they're pretty much like, hey, you can't blame yourself, kind of thing. It wasn't your fault. You did everything you could. It just happened. And Dove comes in, and Superman, our Superboy, he gives her that look and everything. And she's all like, and he's all like, I couldn't save him. And this actor does a good job. Like you feel how he's sad. And she's just like, it's not your fault, and I pulled the trigger. So it's, I'm the one to blame, kind of thing, even though she shouldn't really blame herself. It's nobody's fault. It's the bad guy's fault. Red Hood. He did this and everything. So she hugs him and everything, and Dick comes in, and he sees Dove off. She's going to Paris because, why not? I think we'll see her again. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if this actress has left the show for sure. The actor that played Hawk, he had left the show beforehand, and rightfully so. It had been like 2 years before this aired. So, I'm pretty sure these actors and actresses, they can't sit and wait forever. So he left the show. I think he's the star of his own show now. Good for him. That's Alan Richardson. Richardson. That doesn't matter. Anyway, so she's leaving, and he's, like, I love you, kind of thing. And she's, going to heal. So then he gets a call, and Commissioner Gordon, she's told him that Scarecrow was attacked and that they're moving him to Blackgate. And then back at the mansion, he's making pizza, delish, and Starfire comes in, and she's all, sleepwalking, possessed, kind of thing, and she fires a firebolt at him, and he tucks and rolls and everything, and gets her on the ground, and he gets her out of her stupor, and she's all like, something's going on with me, kind of thing. And then back at the thing, he's all like, we need to move him or how they talks about how they're going to move him and everything and all this stuff. So then she calls her little psychiatrist buddy that she's been flirting with / whatever. I don't know what's going on here, but I'll be honest with you. If they don't get together soon, they need to exit this, because I'm kind of getting annoyed. Like, I'm like, all right, listen, nothing's going on here. Maybe we should just skip it, Plus I like her with Dick better. Like it just makes more sense, because that's more comic book accurate than her hooking up with this dude. And I'm just like, I prefer just to get him out of the way. Her and Dick Grayson should be the couple in my opinion. But if they don't, it's fine, whatever. Anyway, so she's on the phone and she's like, I'm going crazy. And then she goes to talk to Beast Boy, and she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, you guys all suck. You guys, I can't remember exactly what he says, but that's the gist of it. In fact, I think he actually says you guys all suck. And she's all like, listen, I'm going crazy. I'm seeing stuff and everything. So he gets this great idea, and he takes her to this therapeutic bed or whatnot. And she gets in, and she starts seeing stuff. And then, it turns on again. And then we go over to Scarecrow, and he's being transferred to Blackgate Prison. And as he's getting transferred, all these dudes go, get beat up and get taken down. And then Dick Grayson puts him in his car, and he's taking him because he's got questions. So then we go out to this field where Starfire wakes up because she fell asleep, and then she hears in the trunk, she's like, let me out. And she's like, who is it? And then Beast Boy pops out. She's like, I'm sorry and everything. I did it again. And he's all like, why did you come here to this field? They move the car, and underneath the car is this hatch, and they get into the hatch. Well, he's all like, I don't want to go down there. And she's all like, we're going down there. So then back at the commissioner's office, she's being interrogated by this guy, because he's like, what happened? And they see Dick Grayson on the cameras, and he's like, this is a friend. She's like, yeah, he was in, Detroit PD. He came back, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, so he's a friend. He's like, yeah, and she thinks. And then this woman, bitch face, she's not a nice person. She was mean to him at the first episode or second episode. I don't like it when they're mean to Dick Grayson. Anyways, but she's all like, we got CCTV and everything. So then he's got him, and she's all like, yo, you took him? And he's like, yeah, I took him. I'm going to question him. So then these two are in this little hold, and she's seeing stuff, and she's like, this is where it ends. And she goes in, and she sees her sister in this cage, this box. And then they get this dude, and they're all like, yo, what's going down and everything. And then these two end up at a cabin in the woods. He tries to run away and gets captured in a trap and everything, because he knew what was going to happen. So he takes him to this cabin, sits him down and everything. And he goes out to the woods, yada, yada, yada. He's got this fun little thing there. He's waiting for Red Hood, and Scarecrow's going to try to convince him of stuff. And he's going to try to escape and this kind of thing. So these two are like, what's going on here? And he's all like, well, she came to Earth. The U.S. government, tackled her and got her in this cage and everything. And now we're just keeping her here and everything. And her powers are dampened, yada, yada, yada. So then Starfire goes in, wakes her up, and she's all like, oh, you come for me, huh? And they start talking about this thing called the pit, I believe they called it. And basically it sounds like whenever something bad happened, they got thrown into the pit and you had to fight in the pit. I don't know if that's Tamarin law or whatever, but yeah, anyways. So, and she's like, you never stood up for me. I thought my sister would stand up for me. And she's like, oh, please stop playing the victim. You were fully capable of handling, yourself. Stop it. And they start fighting, and she wins. And then she leaves the cage, and she's all like, she's like, again, I won, this reminded me very much of Gamora and Nebula's little fight. And she's all like, I just wanted SSR kind of thing. And yeah. So then back at the cabin, he goes in, and he starts talking to him about how Bruce would bring him out here to hunt, this wolf would be hunting them or something like that or whatnot. And then Dick's all like, it's the other way around. He's like, the wolf shouldn't have been. I wasn't scared of the wolf. The wolf should have been scared of me. And he comes in and he lays this wolf head on the table. You can't really see it there with Bruce, which is weird. I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know how I feel about how they're portraying Bruce and his relationship with the Robins and everything. Cause that's what sounds like Jason Todd came and talked to Scarecrow and everything. And that's how he got the Lazarus inhaler or whatnot, which I'm telling you right now, if they didn't use a Lazarus pit for bringing back Jason Todd, I'm kind of going to be annoyed. It's like spend the extra dollars and build a set or something like that, because that's how you should have done it. So then back at this lab, she's like, what are you planning on doing? And he's all like, well, we're going to keep her in there until her powers are gone. And she's all like, he's like, so you're going to let her die? And they're like, he's like, yeah, pretty much essentially. She's like, you do know that could be like 150 years. And he's all like, well, he's like, that kid, it's built to last kind of thing. And she's all like, whatever. So then back here, they figure out where he's taken Scarecrow. And then these two are going to leave, but then she's all like, you know what? No. And she's like, I'm going to be a sister. So she's like, it's the pit kind of thing and everything. So she breaks up her out. He's like, no, you can't take her. She's property of the US government and everything. You can't just take her. And she steps up and she's all like, if you don't move, if you don't get out of my way, I'm going to burn your dick off. And he's all like, your fire bolts aren't 100% since you were in the cage. And she's all like, do you want to test that and everything? And he moves and they start to leave. And he's all like, that he's like, the government isn't, she's your responsibility now. We cannot come and get her if you mess up on this. And she's like, I'll take my chances. So they blow out of there. She's like, get in the car and everything. And she's all like, I don't trust you. And she's all like, you can either get in the car or wait here while the government shows up. And she gets in the car and she's like, oh, your vehicle smells bad. And he's all like, oh, this is gonna be a long ride. So then back at the thing, Red Hood shows up back at the cabin and he's going to kill Robin, but it's really Scarecrow dressed up as Robin. And these two start fighting. Oh, I should have lightened this. Anyways, these two start fighting and they're fighting and fighty. And he's like, oh, you got the same old moves and everything. It was an all right fight. Not the best. But then these two back at they're ready to target Red Hood and take him down. And the sniper's all like, I got the shot. Can I take it? And she's like, take it. And she's like, did you get him? And he's like, I can't tell. Because it looks like they shot Robin or Nightwing instead of the Red Hood. So then he goes back to the cabin and Scarecrow is gone. Either he escaped or Red Hood got him. I'm assuming, Red Hood got him. And then Dick's like, oh, shit. And that's where the episode ends. And I just have to say again, this episode was good. It wasn't the best episode. I definitely think episode 3 was the best episode just because that cliffhanger where Hawk died. But I do think that this was good. And I'm curious to where this goes with this season. And I've seen some reviews of, because a lot of critics and stuff, they got episodes 1 through 5. I believe episodes 1 through 5. Yeah. They got episodes 1 through 5. So they already know what's going to happen and stuff. But let me just say, I think that so far this season is good and I'm excited to see where they take it. But like I said before, I honestly believe that the Starfire storyline should take precedent over everything, because I think it's, like I said, we've gotten way more Bat Family / Robin / Nightwing kind of thing that I really feel like they should start focusing more on the other characters and their storylines. I do think that they do that because of budget. They can't afford all these powers. But for me, I just go take one character, focus on that character and use their powers the most. If you're going to do Beast Boy, focus on Beast Boy's past, bring it up to the present, have him face off against somebody, and then have these guys in the background, but they come to help him out in the end. And then for Starfire, same thing, do an episode where we go back to Tamara, because I want to see Tamara. I want to see her home planet. I want to see her interactions with her people. I want to see the pit. I want to see all that stuff, her parents and everything, all that stuff. But they don't show it to us, which really bums me out. And I wish they would have done that. I really wish they would have gone to Tamara for this season, but they didn't. And it's fine. I get it. Shows have budgets. But I can't wait to see, because Blackfire does have her costume. We saw that in some concept art that they had and everything. And I want him to fly and fight and everything like we saw with WandaVision kind of thing. I just want to see all that kind of stuff. And if they don't do it, I get it. Again, money and budget, I get it. But at the same time, come on, give me a little bit of what I want. You know what I'm saying? So that is my breakdown and review. Tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Who's your favorite member of the Titans? Which bad guy do you think they should bring in next? I mean, like, along these lines, I know Red Hood's the main bad guy, but like, they have Scarecrow in there. So should they bring in somebody else? And they had Joker in there. Do you think Batman's going to come back? Tell me everything. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit the like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next breakdown and review for Titans. You guys have a good day. Bye.